Shalom, Ahab, Wa Baraka. First and foremost, Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Bakwa Kadash. Double honors to all the elder apostles at GMS, the prophets and the teachers that are bringing out this 100% truth. You know, I've been really inspired to do just these really short breakdowns. So I did one this morning, and I got another one today. And, you know, it goes with the what was that? I forget what it's called. All these Israelites, the new Israelite group with all the guns. Whatever it is, the Hebrew something. Anyway, you guys, the guys that study know what I'm talking about. And you know, it's funny because I was wanting to bring this out, but I never even realized that it completely links up with the man, let me find it real quick. Hold on, let me find out what it's called. Sorry about that. I don't know why I couldn't remember. It's the HDU, the Hebrew Defense Unit, with guns and knives. So they have carnal weaponry. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. This is Luke chapter 22, and let's go down to verse. Let's see where we should go. Verse. Verse 36. But now, okay, I'm sorry. Then he said unto them, this is Yahushua speaking. Then he said unto them, I'm sorry, this is Luke chapter 22 and 36. I know I said it, but just saying it again, I guess. Then he said unto them, but now he hath a purse. I'm sorry. Yeah, he that hath a purse, let him take it. Likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. So instantly people go, well, that's the mod. We got to get the modern day sword. We need an AR. We need a 9. I like 45, but they're kind of expensive on the bullets. But you know, let's get a mini Draco. We're gonna. Let me read it again. I must have missed something here. And he said unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrips. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. It's not talking about a gun. In fact, it's talking about the Bible. This is a parable for the future. So, if you don't, and you know how I know for a fact that it's talking about the Bible? Because what do the prophets say? Oh man, I'm going to cut you with this one. Oh, he got cut with that precept. Man, we cut him. Oh, it was a bloody murder, with all of the headlines that WFI puts out. I mean, they're expressing how they're cutting you spiritually with the scriptures out of the Bible. Okay? I mean, it's not really that hard. In fact, hold on now. All right, I'm going to start at verse 8, but this is St. John chapter 18, okay? We're going to start at verse 8, and it's just for the context so you understand what's happening here. This is when Judas Iscariot gave Yahushua over to the Pharisees, okay? So this is when the beginning of what I would call the crucifixion, because this is where they take him. So, with that being said, let's start at verse 8, like I said, St. John chapter 18, verse 8. Yahushua answered, I have told you that I am he. If therefore ye ask me, let these go their way. So he's saying, hey, I told you who I am. Let these other guys go. They ain't got nothing to do with this. That the saying might be fulfilled, which he spoke of them, which thou gavest me, have I lost none. Okay. So he's kind of just explaining himself. So now, verse 10, here's where the point is. Then Peter having a sword, drew it, and smote the high priest's servants, and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. Now, listen carefully. Now, that's the sword that Yahushua told him to get, right? If this is not a parable about the future, we need somebody help me with this next scripture. Then Yahushua said unto Peter, put up thy sword unto thy sheath. Put it back in its holder. Okay? The cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it? Wait a second. So he's telling him not to fight, but he told him to get a sword. Well, I've told you that sword is the Bible. Will cut you spiritually. And I'm proving it right here that this sword, he pulled that sword that he told him to grab. In fact, when he told him to grab, he said, yeah, that sword will do. I can go back to it right now. I'm back in Luke 20:22. I'm pretty sure it's in verse 37. But the point is, as he drew a sword, he cut a dude's ear off. And and Yahushua actually put his ear back on and saved him. I'm not getting into that part. But the point is that, and you know what? I have to get it in a different book. So I'm going to hold off on that for right now because I thought it was in John, but it's probably in either Matthew or Luke. But anyway, or Mark. But anyways, so he did actually fix his ear, proving that sword wasn't what he was talking about. And he did actually ask him, put thy sword away. What are you doing? Aren't I supposed to fulfill the prophecies? What are you doing? It's not what I was talking about. Let me prove it even further. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10. And we're going to go to verse 4, and we'll start there. Let's start at verse 2. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10. We're going to start at verse 2. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some. He's telling him, don't be like that. Well, what do you need a sword for you if you're not being bold? Which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. To the flesh. It's telling you, don't think that listen carefully. I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence. The confidence is in the truth, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. You hear that? So he's not even trying to be, the only people he's really challenging and being some kind of way with are the people that are saying that we're not doing the work, that we're not following the instructions we were given. So, verse 4. Verse 3, I'm sorry. We're getting to the point though. For though we walk in the flesh, so we are in flesh. Yes, we are in flesh, but they're talking about spiritually we're worldly inside. We're worldly inside. We do not war after the flesh. We're not fighting fleshly wars. Though we walk in the flesh, we're fleshly. This is a spiritual war though. We do not war after the flesh. We're not going after you to try and cut your head off with a sword. We're not trying to do these things. The only reason why Israelite will keep a gun is to protect their family. If you're out on the highways and the hedges, you've got your sword. You've got your modern day sword. It's the Bible. You don't need anything else. It just shows you have a lack of faith. Okay, but so let's keep going, because now we got to get to the point. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They're not fleshly. Okay? But mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds. Casting down imagination. Because what does man do? He goes by his own vain imagination. And every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh. So when you justify, like your pseudoscience, oh, it's global warming, it's climate change. It's not what the scriptures are saying. Because the scripture's saying that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has begun to look at us again. And that's why there's wars and rumors of wars and storms and tempests and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Do you know that there are like any place that isn't underwater is pretty much on fire right now? So, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, Yahweh, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience. So he's saying it again. We're going to get those people that are not following the laws when your obedience is fulfilled. But now let's go back to 4 again. When our obedience is fulfilled. So we're having readiness to revenge disobedience when our obedience is fulfilled. So what does that mean right now? In this day and age, what does that mean to you guys? Hold on. Sorry about that. I have a 4-year-old. And, 4-year-olds just need attention sometimes. They don't have a buffer sometimes. So, back to it though. So, they brought out 2 Corinthians. Now you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. What does that mean? It means that we don't use the modern day sword. Not to bring out scripture. So when you hear the brothers say, don't bring a gun to camp, but they say, oh, you can have a gun, but don't bring a fucking gun to camp. What? There's no spirit in you. Don't you understand that you have to be, now, for all of you that didn't know this, that just didn't know, and you thought that you were doing something to, just protect the camp, that was out of sincerity. You get told, and that's it. Okay, my bad. You move on. But then there's other people that get told, hey man, you can't be doing that. It's not like, oh man, you act good, but you act, oh man, you bugged out. No, it's like, hey man, you can't really do that. Don't worry about that, man. We got the, and then you show them in the scripture. And then they accept it. Now the ones that don't accept what scripture says, well, you shouldn't be in the camp in the first place. In fact, you shouldn't even be bringing out scripture, honestly. No, you don't bring a gun to camp. If you need a gun at camp, you might not be in the truth, because that means the Most High ain't dealing with you if you're going to get your brakes beat off you. And let me prove one more time, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that this is not only a spiritual war, but we've got our spiritual weapons, and which is the Bible. But one other thing that we have that most people don't know about: the Shabbatot. Let me prove it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go to 2 Kings. This is one of my favorite verses. I know this one. I know where this one's at all day, every day. This is 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 17. We're going to close out here. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened his eyes. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. What did he see, guys? You guys ready to find out what he saw? Because Elisha just said, open the guy's eyes. And Yahweh said, all right, you know what? I'll let him see for a minute. I'm going to let him see for a minute. Let's see what he saw. And behold, the mountain was filled, it was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Wait a second. So you telling me that he had an entire army from heaven with him? What is the Shabbat? What does that mean? It means Yahweh's army. Let's get it. I'm sorry about that, guys. I was trying to find the Shabbat, but since I don't know how to spell the Shabbat right, the Bible will keep trying. My app keeps trying to take me to the Sabbath. So until I learn how to spell better, I'm gonna hold off on that. But let's keep it going though, because the Lord's Lord's host is also his army. So let me get this. This is, I think, Ephesians chapter 6, yeah. And let's start at verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahweh and in the power of his might. That's funny. I don't see any place in that where he said, be strong by holding weapons of carnal weapons. It's not going to say it. Watch. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now watch who the devil is. This isn't the devil ain't no joke either, because he is the false accuser, the slanderer, the liar, the deceiver. And we all know that our government, our mind control is that devil right now. And they're just producing as much as they can, as fast as they can, because they know they're running out of time, for their time is short. But listen to what they listen carefully, because here's where the point is. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Like I said, this isn't a fleshly war. This is a spiritual warfare. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. This world, oh wait, hold on, let me finish. Against spiritual wickedness in high places. So we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. We're wrestling against rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. And so I was going to close out Ephesians chapter 6, but I have to get this. I'm going to close out here. I'm going to start at this is Job 9 and 23. If the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh. He will laugh at the trial of the innocent. We're the innocent, and we're being laughed at right now, and we're under the trial. We're under the trials and the tribulations. But listen to this. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So that's who we're wrestling against. The principalities, the rulers of darkness, that is the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the reason why I had to bring that out is because throughout all of this spiritual warfare, you've got to understand that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So what is this? What does this this wicked ruler do? He gives us the full effects of Daniel 8 and 25. And for all you, I'll get, all right, one more verse. I'm sorry, guys. I know I said I was going to shut it down, but if the Most High keeps feeding me, I'm going to keep eating, and I'm going to keep spitting it out to you guys. So, 8 and 25. And through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Think about it, man. Come on, guys. In other words, he is not going to use any carnal weapons of war. The book has already been written. So through his policies, he's going to cause craft to prosper. That's why you guys think you have to carry a gun out to the camp in the first place. But it tells you the prince of princes, he shall be broken. He's going to go up against Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. He's going to go up against Yahushai. They all are. And they're going to be broken without hand. And it even says he's going to speak a few words and everything's going to be done with. So you got to understand, this is all spiritual. You do not need a weapon. The weapon of today's modern weapon, let's go back to the very beginning. Today's modern weapon is what? If you listen to this class, that's your quiz right there. What is the modern day weapon? And we're going to go back down and read it one more time, and I am going to close right here. And now when Yahushua heard these things, he said unto him, you lack though one thing. Sell all that thou hast, and distribute unto the poor, and thou shalt have treasure. And whoops. Sorry about that. That was not what I was looking for. Oh man, I do it every class. It was Luke chapter 22. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I apologize. 22 and 36. Let's read it again. Then he said unto them, but now he hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip, and he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. So now you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that the sword that he's talking about is a parable to today, speaking of the Bible. Because how are you going to fight a spiritual war without the scriptures? And with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope this was exhorting and that you were actually able to get something out of this lesson. And once again, double honors to all the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers at GMS for bringing out this 100% truth. And first and foremost, Kal Hala, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakadash. Until next time, Shalom.